Yeah, those go down the center of the room, and
Yeah.
you
Makes my guitar solo so
Good evening. I would like to bring the Streets Committee for April 13th, 2026 to order. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
You have that motion?
Can I have a second? Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, so moving on. Andy, Mr. Mayor, could we please get an update on the pothole repairs?
I'd be pleased to give you an update on the pothole repairs because this past week we've made some progress on big ones. Specifically, we tested out some new surfacing material
Okay.
down on South London Street, right in front of the Methodist Church. And this is surfacing material that performs as well as our cold patching. And we have hope that we can cut the cost of our cold patch purchases by about 80%. So that would allow us to do a lot more of them, and more importantly, a lot more potholes, and more importantly, do them at all times of the year. The difference with this particular test was it's a pretty good sized hole. It's about 12 by 15, and originally was asphalt, and then when we did a water line upgrade, was replaced with concrete, which lasted 3 years, maybe 3 years. So not real good in terms of the performance on that one, but we did remove it. We excavated it out, removed it, did it all the same day, cut the cost of that repair significantly by going with a different surfacing material and our own labor. So we only contracted out the excavation part, and we did the traffic control ourselves and everything else. We're trying to get as much of this we can do in-house as we can, so that we're not waiting on vendors and we can just go patch potholes. The next step will be to do a round of pothole patching, just regular kind, not of giganto proportions like this one was.
Okay.
So we'll be going around the village, and when we get done with mowing, and basically start filling in just the regular, like dinner plate-ish size, maybe larger potholes that don't require any excavation. As far as I know, we're not intending on ordering DuraPatch until later in the year when temperatures are they got to be consistently above 50 degrees. It can't be seesawing back and forth. So DuraPatching won't take place, I wouldn't say, at least until what, May, June, something like that, when we're consistently overnight at 50 degrees or more. So those are for much larger repairs as well. And we'll just have to see which one performs better, because this other material could well perform as well as it does. So we'll see.
Less expensive?
DuraPatch is fairly inexpensive. Excuse me, it's fairly inexpensive. It's an emulsion goo. We buy it by the tank. It's $300 a tank, but it does require us to purchase gravel. The surfacing material, the cold patch surfacing material we use this past time does not require purchasing of gravel if you use it for regular potholes. It did require it in this case to buy a little bit of gravel because we were removing so much road surface and had to put it back.
Okay.
So that's not as usual, but yeah, you have to, with DuraPatch, you have to buy both of them. So.
Andy, on Chestnut Street, are you going to wait to use DuraPatch then when it gets warmer?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. If we can, I think I was down on Chestnut yesterday, and I was going to mention to our team that it needs to probably go next, because there are a pretty significant number there.
Yes.
Having said that, I don't know that I would wait. I think we should just go ahead and fill them. We have extra material from the repair down there.
Yeah, if they do, I think it would be a good thing to do.
So I say we just go ahead and fill them.
Some are getting like craters.
Yeah, they're not enormous, but if we let them go, they collect rainwater and they do get bad. So we shouldn't do that. But I did want to speak a little bit about the cost differential of the surface material, this cold patch. I keep referring to it. So we've been using cold patch that comes in sort of these aluminized bags, and we buy it by the pallet full, and it's about $1,500 or $1,600. Courtney will keep me honest here. And we go through typically an entire pallet of it over the course of a winter, and we use it mostly in wintertime. That's just because you can't, there's not much repair work that you can do because everything's freezing. And so we use the cold patch and pack it down real good, and typically it's good. It's been a good fix. But we were able to find a place that manufactures it in Chillicothe, so it's local, and we're now buying it for about $200 a ton. So that's a pretty significant savings and goes right back into our pocket, because we had budgeted to buy another pallet of the stuff, and we were able to get more than a pallet for, 1/10 the
I'm
price.
glad we
basically.
got that one there by Water Street. Remember that one there? Somebody could even broke a leg. in
Yeah,
thing.
that one has a habit of coming back, but we'll see if that
Yes.
stays fixed. I don't know why that particular one has been filled 2 or 3 times at this point. It keeps coming back. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is fill as many potholes permanently as possible, as inexpensively as possible, because your budget this year is $80,000 for road work, and the moment we call a vendor, contractor, to come out and cut things out and bring their equipment down and bring their hot box full of asphalt and do all that, is the moment that tends to go away pretty quickly. So our last bill alone was in the 30 grand range to do pothole patching, and you're not doing a lot with that kind of money, right? So we're trying to do as much as we can in-house and get this stuff done.
Okay.
Stay on top of it.
The cold patch can be used year-round, though, correct?
Correct.
The Dura patch can only be used when it's
Spring and summer, we'll say.
55 degrees for several weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And typically we've done, as far as Durapatch goes, we've typically done a couple of pushes over the course of a summer. So we do one immediately after weather stabilizes and it's consistently warm, to get, things under control. So we do a real big push and get at least 1 or 2 tanks of emulsion that goes in the thing. And then we do one in the late summer after everyone's been moving around. We got lots of trucks, that sort of stuff. And it just needs to be gone over again. But the cold patch allows us to just on any random Tuesday go out and fill a hole. And this is what's great.
That is good.
So, yeah, so we don't have to wait to go buy anything. And the remaining downfall with Durapatch is that you have to use it within a 7-day period. So it basically goes into a tank on the back of a specially fitted truck, and there's a propane fire underneath it, heater, that keeps it gooey.
The Dura patch?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And the goo goes in the back of the thing, and it tends to settle out after a certain amount of time, and it'll actually harden onto the sides of the tank. So you sort of use it or lose it, and so we are careful about only buying kind of what we need.
Okay.
Because otherwise we're going to have to clean that tank out, and there's only limited ways to do that. So I have right now preference for the cold patch stuff, because it just is going to give us a lot more flexibility to patch whenever we want to.
Okay. Do we have anything else in regards to potholes that we need to address? Thank you, gentlemen.
Pretty well covered.
The next thing I have, Grover Wilkins, I believe that's down on East Columbus Street, had a sewer grate that needed fixed. Were we able to manage that?
We haven't fixed it, but we're getting estimates for them, and I believe we do have an estimate for that. It's $5,800 for the 2 of them, isn't it? Yeah, so we would do reconstruction of 2 of them, and it is $5,800. So there's
and
another
that's the
one
village's
besides
responsibility.
his.
That's on the village, correct?
That's on the village. That's us.
Okay.
And the current estimate is $5,800 for the concrete work.
Okay.
I think that's we did one last year, and it was not $5,800 or half of $5,800, so $2,400, or no, I'm sorry, $2,600. Excuse me. No,
24.
24. Thank you. It's been a long day. So let me check on that. That's the first estimate to come in, and $5,800. It's $6,000 worth of work. It's kind of a lot of money for 2 storm sewers,
Do we have it,
or catch basins rather.
yeah, do we have it marked so that people can't go over it, or is that even possible?
It is not possible currently.
Okay.
Yeah. He has to leave it open. It's for flood control. So
He understands that, though?
yes.
Okay.
He's been told that repetitively
Okay.
multiple times.
All right. Well, that's the most important thing, communication with him. So, weather's getting warmer. Can we maybe get somewhere with this before the next meeting, as far as at least get the quotes in?
Do you just want to move forward with the single quote, or do you want more quotes?
Well, if we can get a lesser quote,
Just remember, though, is that this is not in your budget, so
I understand. That's why I'm thinking we need to
Right.
move forward with more quotes.
Okay.
If we can save a couple of $1,000s, that would, gentlemen, what do you think?
I agree with you.
Yeah, we have
Get
two
the
of them to
quotes.
repair, so this is, that we have
need
to do them.
get
Right.
rolling. It's starting to get
You,
warm.
you
And
wouldn't.
is the
you-
$5,800 for one?
No, it's for both of
For
them.
both.
Yeah.
I say we go with a couple more quotes.
Yeah,
Okay. Are we okay with that?
I'm good with it.
All
Yeah,
right.
If you're concerned on what you want it done yesterday, then we will have to discuss how to redo the budget.
Well,
if
it's been a
you-
long time coming, so I think that we owe it to the village
to fix them.
to fix them, but I also think that we need to make sure that we're doing it economically.
Mm-hmm.
Surely they understand that. Okay. Two more quotes.
Yeah,
And
we
you'll
were,
give us an update next meeting.
yes, I'd be happy to do so.
Thank you. Last time we talked about, some gravel being put in alleys because they're muddy or something.
There's
I don't,
several, Joyce, Nate, you got one close to your house. They're going down that one way. And Andy, you've seen the one, where between my house and down there? There's one muddy one there that needs it
Yep.
too.
Yep.
okay, so I guess my question is, first of all, do we have the gravel?
Well, we haven't purchased any yet because we typically don't do this project until the spring.
Okay.
These are all outdoor projects, and we usually do gravel and street sweeping and that sort of stuff in increments. So we do it in the spring and like summer and the fall.
So let's say we readdress this in June?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we would, we could do some of them now. There's no reason why we couldn't do that. It's just that right now, the priority with the people that we have is pothole patching. If there is an alley that is unpassable, we will absolutely patch it. There's no problem with doing, or spread
Okay.
gravel down.
Okay.
But we, for at least about a half or a third of the town, we did gravel it last year in the
Okay.
fall.
Okay.
So there will be another, we do it in rounds, carve the town up, we do it in rounds and reapply gravel.
Okay, so since we're working potholes right now, do you guys have any objection if we wait? They'll do any emergencies that need to be done between now and June, but we can wait until June to get a report to see where we are with the gravel.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
and
good
if
with
there's-
that,
if there's-
once we
if-
get it done before,
Yeah,
'cause-
if there's places we should do, what you guys could do us a favor and start prioritizing where you think the worst of the alleys are, and we will go do them if they have not already been done. So
There's
usually
one
we,
alley, you could
like,
almost do a mud run
Yeah,
on
well-
it. It just, when it rains,
last year we did it in the spring and the fall.
Yeah,
So the town got fairly spread out with gravel.
Identify those? Can you go around and identify those?
Are we able to go ahead and get the gravel purchased so that
Sure.
when the guys do,
Yeah.
they're not having free time right now?
Yeah,
but-
we have some that's just general gravel that's already here, so we can, if you know some bad spots, we'll fill 'em. We'll do it right now. We will not wait. But we don't have what we would normally, like 3, 4, 5 tons that we would normally use to do an entire project.
Okay.
So what we do is we load up the big dump truck with gravel and then use our skid steer and spread it through the alley and compact it down real good.
I
So we-
think, Andy, a lot was for the rough winter we had this year too. It was because we had so much deep snow this
Mm-hmm.
year. And then, of course, you drop the blade on an alley, the gravel's gonna go.
It goes into the side yards.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm all for doing it. So if there are puddles that fill up, we will fill them. There's no problem.
Okay,
We will not wait to do that. It's just to do an entire run or stretch or a neighborhood,
okay,
we'd probably do it in the spring.
okay. So what I'm hearing is Andy's gonna go ahead and get the gravel on order. And Nathan, you're
Is
gonna
there
go
any reason
ahead
why we
and
couldn't
look at the
gravel
alleys
on
and
order?
prioritize which one they should target. And if you wanna help him with that, you
Yeah,
can
I'll
let
go
him
for
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you see them, let's start carving it up.
Okay.
Like, so for example, I know that the alleyways, as you are going on 62 towards Columbus, all alleyways as you're leaving town have been gravelled last fall. So that section of town, the old
Yeah.
section of town, all those, some of them were actually paved asphalt, but others are gravel, and all of those were gravelled last fall. So it's other places, it would be our neighborhood, for example, or maybe south of town.
Okay.
where there might be some spots and
In
opportunity.
1980, the asphalt, a lot of the alleys, the one behind my house is asphalt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
There's,
everything.
there's still like that. It's just that asphalting everything is, you're adding to the amount of roads you're maintaining.
Yeah.
So it turns into an actual road and not, an
I
alley.
learned to help my basketball court.
Oh, there
too,
you go.
When I was,
Okay. Anything else on the alleys? Okay, moving forward, let's talk about the gazebo. I attended the the SAL meeting last week. Nathan was there. You were at the Legionnaires meeting.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so they voted to do the labor on the gazebo. I did not ask them for any monetary donations. They are, they have limited funds. There are other people who are asking for donations. So I didn't want to tread on that, okay? All right, I want to prioritize some things. So, I was invited by Brian Hampton, who is, I believe, the president of the Township Trustees, to attend their trustee meeting on May the 5th and ask for a donation of the monies to pay for the,
Wow, that's good. That's really good.
yeah, I didn't realize who he was. I know him from attending meetings before. I know the name, I know the face, and I looked at him and I'm like, I know you, but I can't place you. So we went through the meeting, and when he spoke, I would turn around, and after the meeting, he asked me how I was going to fund this project. And I said, well, as of today, right now, this moment, I'm not sure, but we will fund it. We will get donations, we will have a fundraiser, but we will fund it. I have the 3 quotes. One quote was $9,500. Do you want me to name the people? or
No, I would
Okay.
say just give us the rundown.
One
of
quote
what
was
the
$9,500.
quotes, what the budget range is.
All it says is what they're going to do in a total amount. I don't know how much is for labor, how much is for pieces and parts. I don't know, but it's $9,500. It is not what I asked for. I asked for the floor and the steps if need be. And I got a thing for the whole thing, which is fine. Okay, apparently there are other people that think the whole thing needs to be done. Right now, I'm concerned about the flooring. Okay, so that's fine. The second quote I got was for everything again. $9,500 for materials and labor, and then the painting was another $3,200 for labor. Okay, so here's that.
Can I ask, is that for repair of the entire gazebo?
Yes,
Okay, not the floor,
Including
not just the floor.
not just the floor. It would be
No,
repair.
this is for decking, railing, stairs, skirting, painting.
Yeah,
We're not ready to do that yet.
Was that for again?
Was for
9,500.
9,500 plus 3,200
to paint it.
to paint it.
They'll probably have to put new beams under that too.
There's a lot that needs to be done, but there's not a lot that has to be done right this moment.
Yeah, right.
And as I said, we can fundraise. We're still having party in the park stuff going on, annually, I hope. And we can always dedicate some of that to the gazebo. Or maybe at some point in time down the road, the Legion might be able to, we might be able to ask them to help us with some of that later. We don't have to do it this year. We have other projects. Infrastructure is so important to me, and I think to all of you, and I think that's where our focus should be right now. Streets are very important too. The gazebo is very important, but it's not top of our list.
It's a very historical building.
It certainly is, and I think we need to address
it
it, but
was-
I don't think it should be at the top of our list.
Because Teddy
Okay?
Roosevelt actually used that.
Well, I
So
think,
you're
I
talking
think that's
about
great, and I
former
think,
presidents and-
I think it needs addressed, but I don't think it needs addressed
No, okay.
before the other two. Okay, so I talked to a gentleman that does belong to the Legion. I just met him accidentally at the Legion, and I overheard someone say construction, his name, and I'm like, is that you? Okay, well, I introduced myself. To be fair, I asked him to quote on everything, but I asked him for a breakdown. Break it down for the floor. Break it down for the steps and railing. Here's what this cost, and the labor for that. Break it down for anything else that you see that might need repaired and the labor. But talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old, okay? Because I want to take this back and compare it apples to apples with what everyone else has done. So, remove all flooring and install all new deck boards. Replace 2 knee walls that are bad. The material is $2,275. The labor is $2,300. He's not going to do the job, but he's going to get us the material. The Legion's going to do the job. He's going to oversee the job because he has a company and he has insurance. Okay?
So just the 2,200, is that what you're gonna ask?
Plus handrails. The steps don't need to be done. The handrails are $300. So $2,575 is what it's going to cost us. That is what Brian told me to go and ask if the trustees will help us out with. $2,575. So, any discussion?
See how the meeting goes.
One thing I agree with you too, Joyce, the street system should come first, and then secondary. It's still an historic building, but we got
love our-
time for that.
We love our gazebo. We want it to
Yes, yes.
shine, and we want it to shine
Yes,
bright.
amen on
I
that.
also told the SAL, because they are volunteering to do this,
Yeah.
it was not an emergency. As long as, could we please have it done by the 4th of July? Okay?
And if everything
We don't
goes
have to
well-
have it done by Memorial Day, but I would like to have it done by the 4th of July. And they said that was no problem.
And if everything goes well, they want to push themselves to get it done for Memorial Day.
If everything
If
goes well, but that was not a stipulation
No.
at all. We might have put a stipulation on free labor.
Are you
Okay?
gonna ask council if you could speak on their behalf to go to the trustee meeting for the donation? Because that's what you would be doing, so you'll need to get approval from council to go there, to speak
Absolutely.
on behalf of them.
I'll ask them tonight.
Okay.
But I need the recommendation from you guys.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
'cause The requirement was for the plaque. Is that something?
Oh, they have a stipulation. They would like for us to buy a plaque and put it on the gazebo,
Just recognizing the lead.
recognizing the Legion.
Yes,
And I
good.
told them that I thought we could work that out.
Pretty sure that's possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is too. So
We're
I,
talking
Yep,
about
pretty sure
a
that's
building that
possible.
was built in 1886.
Yeah.
And Lewis Timmons, when he was campaigning to be sheriff in town, he, at the fairgrounds, he used that to campaign.
Right.
Maybe I'll use it one day, who knows?
There you go. Well, and I, you know, if you sit and you break this all down, it might be the same as one of these. I mean, I don't know, because one of them isn't broken down. But this is. So this is what I would like to make a recommendation to
And how
take
much
to
was the total? Okay, so the recommendation is
$2,575.
$2,575, to allow you to go to the trustee meeting on May the 5th, to ask for $2,575, for the material
To replace the floor and the railing on the gazebo.
to replace floor, railing. And I apologize if gazebo is not how it's pronounced. You always pronounce it gazebo.
It's gazebo or gazebo. It's tomato, tomato.
I don't know if anybody noticed that, but
Yeah.
I always say gazebo. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not sure
It
that.
probably is gazebo. I'm just weird.
Okay,
It
so that's
originally-
Joyce's.
Courtney, it originally set right in here.
Well, it originally sat down at Madison County's fairgrounds is where
Yeah,
it sat.
right there where the old, and then it moved where the Showa plant was. And then they viewed somebody's body there, it died. Everybody, it was one of those local policemen, and they showed his body in the public square in
Oh, my.
1920.
Oh, wow. All right, so that was Joyce. Is there a second for that?
Second?
Okay, that was Nathan, and we'll do a roll call. David,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Okay, and then during tonight at council is that the labor is actually going to be done by, you know,
The SAL,
yeah. So
Sons of the American
maybe
Legion.
two separate motions or whatever, but,
So you want me to make that motion tonight at streets,
Yeah.
when I do my streets report?
Is the essay.
Because you'll have to ask that you're gonna go to the trustees meeting on behalf of the council. And then you're gonna state to council that the labor is going to be done by the
Right.
Legion, donated by the Legion.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so I apologize if I get a little bit excited about that, but this has been a long time coming. And I appreciate, Becky got a quote for me, Courtney got a quote for me, and then I got a quote. So I appreciate that collaboration on everyone doing that. And I appreciate the companies that were willing to go out and give us a quote. So that is done. All right. Moving forward, have we repaired the backhoe yet?
We have not repaired the backhoe because the decision was made that for the same money, we would replace the tires on the vac truck. So the council allocated $7,000 in equipment repair money last year in the budget. And the tires on the back, correct me if I'm wrong, and the tires in the vac truck were $4,500. So the backhoe is not out of commission. It's not working, just to be 100%. It's not stranded down at the service garage.
Okay.
So the $7,000 is, $4,500 of that was used for not an emergency, but a high need maintenance on the vac truck. So the vac truck takes industrial sized tires, as you can imagine, and they are extremely expensive, and these were original to the truck when we purchased it 14 years ago. So they required replacement as a safety measure and as a matter of keeping the thing, our single most expensive piece of equipment, functional. We ran out of money last year because the repairs, the vac truck, the overhaul, periodic maintenance and overhaul was pretty expensive. It was $14,000.
We didn't run out of money, we just reallocated the money. Just to be clear, budget was still black, okay? There
Oh,
was
no.
red line.
We spent the equipment budget, all right? We spent it. I mean, that's just what it is. We didn't, it's not zero in the sense of like, you know.
But when you said run out of money, I was like, oh no.
No, there was nothing. We did the work that we were intending to do. The problem is the tires needed to be replaced on the thing, and so, yes, the intention is eventually to get it, but it's not like it's out of service. It just leaks hydraulic fluid, and we would like eventually, at some point, maybe in the next fiscal cycle, to allocate money again to repair it, because now everything else will have been caught up. But there are other equipment things which we probably should discuss. The Kubota is starting to head down the path of the great Kubota Space in the Sky. We have two of them. They were purchased at exactly the same time. The first one has a head gasket, blown head gasket, and it's questionable as to whether or not it can be fixed. The second one has, it runs fine for the most part, but it clearly has a slipping transmission. So it is rusty, and so we're looking to see what practically we can do to keep it in service. So we may come back to you and say, hey, we want to use some of the money that was left over for the backhoe to repair that.
Okay.
They're really expensive, you know, it's like buying a car. I mean, it's like whatever you want, you can have on your Kubota, and as everyone around here with side-by-sides knows, you can spend pretty much whatever you want to spend on them. You can literally deck it out and buy a $50,000 Kubota. It's no problem. And so our former administrator gave us a quote for one, which would have replaced everything, but at $40,000, we couldn't get our heads wrapped around that, and decided to do some alternative shopping for maybe other solutions from other brands. And so that is what we're going to do this year, and try to come up with a more feasible way of funding this thing, including rebuilding the other ones that we have, and just making the most of what we've got. So I don't believe we're quite done with them yet, but at some point I'm going to have a conversation with you all about what we do for a replacement. That's actually probably the biggest equipment need right now. The dump truck is back in service. The service truck has been serviced last year. The golf carting fine. Trying to think if there's any other large pieces of equipment that you guys don't.
Vac truck last year.
Vac truck was overhauled. that should be about it for a while. Well, not that, this is really a separate issue for the Parks and Rec, I guess, but the tractor was repaired, and the tractor, which is primarily used for mowing, although we do mow beside the roads with it, that was fixed as well. And
At a cheaper cost.
At a cheaper cost. The original quote from AgPro was almost $6,000, and no, it was a little more than that, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, we got her done
for 2,400.
for
Who did it?
$2,400.
B&E Equipment.
Oh, okay, good deal.
You
Very
know,
good
Andy,
deal.
Pays to shop
35
around.
inches of snow we had this year,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff saw action.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah, it did.
wouldn't have,
Yeah, it did. Yep, yep.
Had a lot of snow.
We used pretty much everything, every piece of equipment for snow duty that you would need over the course of a winter. Everything got exercised, that's for sure.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's the next big frontier is probably having a conversation around the small equipment.
Thanks.
It will be painful.
Okay, very good. The last thing on my agenda, unless anyone else has anything, is I want to discuss a little bit about the sidewalk issue. The first thing I think we need to do is identify the problem areas. So, I don't know if that's something that, I don't think we should put that off on nuisance. I really don't think we should. I think they have their hands full. I think that we can go ahead. I know, David, you walk a lot. I know your wife walks a lot, and you probably do too. I know my husband walks a lot. I can go out with him. I think we need to start going around town and identifying the problem sidewalk areas. I think we need to notate the streets, the approximate addresses from start to finish, where they are raising up or crumbling or whatever. And once we've done that, we'll bring that back. And then I think the second thing we need to do is create on letterhead something, not from an attorney or anything like that, but from the village, just stating we have identified that we have a problem area with your sidewalk that could something with public safety could, you guys will figure it out, what to write to them, and we need to discuss options to get that repaired. Or maybe that's not the right verbiage, because then they might think that we want to do it, and we cannot do that. But we want to do something to prevent any injuries. So I think that we need to start that, get that in motion for an awareness, just to bring awareness to it. We're not going to be knocking on anybody's door and telling them to fix anything or anything like that. I just think we just need to bring an awareness to it. Any discussion on that?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of them. Of course, I do a lot of walking too, and so many are unlevel, or they're all cracked up or something, And what I'll do on my walks, I'll take my notebook with me, and I'll get these back there.
Okay, we'll do the same. We can all do that. Okay,
Do we,
what are your thoughts,
I know,
Mayor?
Joyce, as far as.
Oh, I'm
the-
sorry.
The last meeting, I know we was talking about, because it is up to the property owner as far as that goes for the repairs. Where was we at on, other than just what would be our next step outside of sending the letter out? Are we wanting to lean forward with getting it taken care of, or?
Well, eventually, we just have to figure out what that process is going to be. Are we going to enforce something like it is your responsibility to have that fixed? If you can't do it, the village can do it, and we can put it on your taxes. But, well, see, the reaction we're getting is not good. So we need to be very careful how we approach that. We do not want to put anyone in any kind of financial burden.
Right.
Concrete is very expensive.
It's very
too.
expensive.
Yes,
So this might not be the right time.
yes.
But we have to do something with these sidewalks, because people are getting hurt.
Yeah.
So, that is something we're gonna have to keep pondering. And I think I would like to reach out to other municipalities and see how they handle it. The only issue is we have so many new housing developments. I suppose Commercial Point has an older section. I'll see what London does, maybe
Joyce, do you think
courthouse.
there's anything, maybe Courtney might know, is there any public assistance? Maybe people on low income on there?
I don't think
there's
so.
none? I was
No.
wondering.
I don't think so. But we have to make sure that we give them an opportunity to not put them in financial dire straits, to maybe save the money to do it, or, you know, maybe get a home equity line of credit to do it, something that's affordable to them. It's not something, you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. You know, we have to show grace. We have to make sure that we, that we don't just pounce on them. We cannot do that. We have to make sure that we're civil and respectful and give them plenty of opportunity to figure it out. But it is their property, and that's just one thing that comes along with being a property owner.
That's true.
So, but, yeah, we don't want to impact their finances by any means. So, I mean, even if it takes 2 years, we've got to get something going so that they know what's coming.
Yes, right now, right now, with the inflation rate and everything.
Right now, it's not a good time.
It'd be rough, a lot of,
Right.
it's right.
But we can get them thinking about,
Yes.
okay, maybe 5 years. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we have to think about that.
Right.
Okay. And then at some point in time, we'll create some kind of a resolution.
Sounds good.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else for streets? Hi there. Yes, ma'am.
Heather Basil, 303 East Main. I had a community member, also business, I'm not sure if she's a business owner, but I'm sure we all are familiar with Lori Pritchard
Mhm.
in the salon.
Salon.
And then there's an old insurance agent right beside the salon, and then you got the farmer's table. So she inquired how to go about getting a handicap, one handicap along that street. That both businesses serve a lot of elderly, and that she has a lot of issues with parking specifically for her older clients. But she said even the insurance guy said that would be amazing, that he has a lot of older clients as well. So I said I would bring it to streets and ask what that looked like.
I think what that looks like is it's an ODOT issue.
Is it what?
An ODOT issue. I remember when my brother lived with my mom and he came down with cancer. He had to go to ODOT to get a handicap for their street because they were on street parking in the city.
Well, I think she's talking about like handicap ramp through to the sidewalk.
Actually, a handicap spot.
A handicap parking
Just
spot.
blue. Just blue markings.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think that's
Along
ODOT.
that roadway, whether it's at the front of the street, the back of that, like little, so that is, and I mean, even with the snow, it was really hard regardless. You know, that should, you can't work around that, but I told her I would ask, and I was under the impression that that was up to the village to put something like that along one of our main streets.
I could get one for the front of my house if I called ODOT and they approved it.
This would be within village
Yeah.
limits, so you wouldn't necessarily
Right, you
would
wouldn't
have to
have to
deal with
ask.
ODOT, but I do think that before we would go down that path, we would want to make sure that they're not supposed to be someplace else as well. Because if I remember right, it's a minimum number of parking spots per handicap spot.
Well, I know that's not true, as far as ODOT having to issue it, because there's actually one right here by that council, on this council,
Approved, yeah.
not you all, but a
Previous
council
one.
since I've been here, issued one right here behind Ben and Joyce.
Okay. Then Franklin
So-
must be different than Madison because we did
Yeah.
have to go through ODOT.
So you guys have absolutely have approved handicap spots.
Okay.
I remember the blind person too, remember on High Street?
Yeah, we're just talking about the
Yeah,
handicap,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
as
that
far
was
as
Wendell.
vehicle handicap.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That's within our power, and you guys, and I know there's not much handicap parking downtown. But yeah, I would be interested to know where else deserves a handicap spot, but in the meantime, if maybe, if we could move forward with this, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are.
I don't see a problem with it. I mean,
I don't either.
Just remember, and I'm just throwing this out there, is that what we do for one, we must do for all. And so what happens is that when you continue to ask for a handicap spot here, I mean, if you guys haven't paid attention, there was one that was actually talked about down here on Market Street.
Yeah,
There's one here that there's no longer, the handicap person that had it had passed away, so.
No longer exists, yeah.
That's right. So I'm just saying, like, I would go with, like, what the mayor says is assessing the situation. And, you know, because anybody can come in here and ask one for their spot. I mean, they actually had one down on Cliffview.
When we did the last time, it turned out that it wasn't well used, and we had issues with it. And so, at the time, they adopted a rule that basically said you have to have a doctor's note proving that you're handicapped, and show us documentation in advance of us, you know, even considering whether or not you're actually handicapped to mark off a regular street space. But seeing as how this is downtown and in the commercial area, I think it warrants looking at other places in the same space as well, because what's the difference between that and Wraps
Right.
Hardware?
Yeah.
Or Hammer Time, or
Agree,
any number of them, so.
yeah.
So we may end up just creating 6 handicap spots out of the allocated space that we have right now. Whatever the legal ratio, there's a ratio for them.
I mean, because it wouldn't be any different than, you know, like in front of the dog grooming spot.
Right, right,
Or in
yeah.
front of Ben and Joy's, you know, it wouldn't be any different for that either. Yeah.
I don't disagree that we should have 2 in front of Ben and Joy's, or, you know, 1 over there, or, you know, a couple downtown over by,
Just remember is that there is a handicap spot over here. So in front of the Mexican restaurant, that is village
Oh,
property.
yeah, that whole
That's
parking
village
area is
parking.
is our property.
So there
and
is a
it
handicap.
It is there.
It does have accessible of asphalt. It's not like, you know, if somebody is handicapped, it is maybe a
Okay.
short jog. But you are guaranteed that it's down an asphalt alley. So it's not through gravel or anything like that.
Right,
But
right.
So you're saying
Parking
there
is an
a
issue, that's
requirement
for sure.
For like a certain amount if we put
There
one?
was at the park, which is why the park is configured the way that it is. And I don't know if it's the same for street parking or not, but we'd have to look, that's why I'm saying we gotta look into this, because what you do for one commercial block, you probably should be doing for others.
I agree, and that's one thing this town does lack is the handicap parking.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
know we got it right there, but
and parking
for
period.
businesses right here,
Yeah.
I know if you're a veteran, you have it on your license plates, and my dad used to have it, where he could park anywhere you wanted if you was a disabled vet, and, you know, and park
Yeah.
that.
I wonder if almost like at the end, not, so it's like up in the center,
Yes.
at the end of each main.
Right.
You know, if that,
If there's a van,
but so is that an ODOT lookup to see what's required of a, like, how do we figure that out?
I believe it's the Americans with Disabilities Act requirement. No, it's not ODOT. So it's a legal question which we'll have to make a inquiry on, just to check and see, because otherwise I don't want to install the wrong number and be off by 1 and then have a violation, so.
Are you gonna look that up, or do
Yeah,
you want
I'd be
me
happy to,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so Andy's gonna look that up. Thank you, Heather.
if we can get that, table that to the next meeting and we can
Yeah.
get that approved and.
Yeah, we would need, to do that, we would need materials and signs and tape. So it'd be blue curb paint, it would be blue, street mark,
Street
and it would
markings.
be a permanent sign installed in
Right.
each space, because there's
a
a,
fee.
with a fee, I was just gonna say that, there's a warning notice attached on each sign that says violation is $250.
I think it's a good idea, yeah.
Just one more thing with that. If it comes back that, the Disabilities Act says we need 6 within, or whatever, and we'll say, I mean, we have not budgeted for this. So if we could, if it's not all 6 at one time, do 1 or 2 at a time, whatever makes sense for us, and maybe start with this first request, if that's possible.
well, you do, so you guys have in your budget, you do have money for street signs. And that would be stop signs, handicap signs, poles, speed limit signs, and things like that. So it wouldn't be like a budget restriction at all. So there is money that's cushioned in there for those types of things. Yeah.
Any more discussion on street signs for handicap parking? Thank you, Andy, for taking care of that for us. And, we're into the meeting, 43 minutes and 23 seconds. Does anyone have anything else for streets?
Pretty well.
All right, my watch has just died, so whatever time it is,
5:45.
5:45, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It helps me get to the next meeting.
Yeah, I won't do that to you ever again, I promise.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up, though,
There's
Heather.
lot
That's a
of
good
people that were
idea.
texting me, why is the council meeting not on yet? Can you just sign that, please?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not technical difficulties.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.